All right, guys. So I have a very important person I'm speaking with today, who has done so many things. He's had a very adventurous lifestyle, which is something which is very similar to what I would like to have as well. So I'm going to be asking you lots of questions about his story so far and how and what's next. So, boss, my first question will be, what's your Canadian story?
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Lukman Akanbi. I'm called The Switch. I'm a business coach and strategist, and I live out in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now, you're asking what my Canadian story?
Yes, like why did you decide to move to Canada when you did, and how's it been so far?
Well, I moved to Canada in 1994, and was purely based on family, and I came here. We're living in Hong Kong, and myself and my wife were living in Hong Kong, and we relocated here because we just felt it was a better place to raise a family. And my family was not there. Our family was not there in Hong Kong, and so we decided to come to Canada to have our first child. And that's why I got here. I liked it, and I stayed and made the life for myself here.
Oh, nice one. So I was saying that you lived in Hong Kong. I lived in Hong Kong as well, but yours was the British Hong Kong. I witnessed the Chinese Hong Kong. So right. What was the experience like then as a Black African you're a Nigerian citizen then, right?
Yes, I was a Nigerian citizen, yes.
Oh yeah. So how was it like being a Nigerian in British Hong Kong?
It was okay. I mean, don't forget, Nigeria is still a British colony, right? And I was there in 1992. Nigeria is the Nigerian passport was still very dicey. Then was having too many. You have to get visa to everywhere. But luckily at that time, Hong Kong was still visa free, so it wasn't as bad as it became. I don't know what it is now, but it wasn't as bad as
terrible now. Like
so it was okay. It was stricter than most other places. There were always constant stupidity that our people would do that will have much more negative attention on the passport and anything you're trying to do. So it was. I mean, my story in Hong Kong for me was how do I call it? Starts from how did I get to Hong Kong?
Exactly.
Why Hong Kong? And for me, Hong Kong was much more like, growing up, one of my best buddy, still my best buddy anyways. He lives in Germany right now. They left Nigeria for me while we were all in Nigeria. He left, I think, in the 80s, the late 80s. And my brother too was already, they were all in Germany. So the whole idea was, when I'm ready to go, which I already planned I was going to leave around 92, 93, because I was doing a little bit of business in Nigeria at that time. But everybody was living in Nigeria, and everybody at that time was just living.
It's still happening. It's still happening.
It was not like, so it was, and for me, it was like, okay, am I going to go to London, where most of my mates were? Because I had a lot of my mates were in London. Or am I going to go to Germany, where my family, as my older brother was in Germany, my best boys, I mean, all the boys I grew up with were all in Germany. They were all settling in Germany. So all of that was there. I was leaning towards Germany. And my boy decided, had his wedding, I decided to go to Hong Kong for his honeymoon. Getting to Hong Kong, he just saw me. The guy just saw me. He said he was in honeymoon, and half the time I was trying to, because I was in Nigeria, I was trying to, and telephone wasn't that great. Trying to just get in contact with me, that dude, you gotta come here, man. Dude, you gotta. Anyway, eventually, when he eventually spoke to me, like when I moving to, I think that time I was supposed to be leaving for Munich in about a month's time. I said, guy, before you come settle to Munich to all this refugee lifestyle, because you have to come and go through a process, and that was the process, the easiest process at that time, and learn you have to learn the German language. And I wanted to do it, but I wanted to learn the language because, I was fascinated every time they speak the language, right? But, he said, guy, I think you should come and spend 2 weeks here in this Hong Kong. This is where I see you.
That's Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, that's Hong Kong. He was calling me from Hong Kong, telling me that. that, Hong Kong is where I see you. I mean, I've been in Germany now for 5 years. I know you very well. Hong Kong is a trading place. That's where I see you.
Oh yeah, really, yeah. I have to.
And I said, just come and give it a try. I said, okay, no problem. You know what I'll do is I'm not going to change my plans, but I'll just route it to Hong Kong. And on my return, if I don't like Hong Kong, on my return, I will go into Germany. I had my laid up plan, and I said, let me go try Hong Kong. I didn't remember Germany for once. The next time I went to Germany was on holiday from Canada. I didn't even think about Germany anymore. I got to Hong Kong and I just, I just saw myself in my natural habitat, because I'm a businessman, and I was very glad I went to Hong Kong because it gave me some kind of understanding of business, the way
it changes your perspective a lot.
Totally. And then, it's not just going to do business, they're living with them. Living for a minute, living with them, being part of them, being friends with them, doing business with them, and understanding the way they do business.
Because the way I think most African diasporans are mostly westernized. Most of them is either Africa and France or Nigeria and UK, Togo and France. Most people don't have that, or maybe Lagos and New York. Most people don't have that third view. So that's what living in Hong Kong does for you. It gives you that third perspective.
I thought when I came to Canada, from Hong Kong, everything was very slow in Montreal. I was like a slow movie.
It's like a step back in time.
Like I'm in a slow movie out here. What's going on here?
Same feeling I had. So you took on one of the most popular restaurants in Dubai in DIFC called Kiza. And I've eaten there before if I ever met you. I went to Dubai 2017. I went there after the Hajj from Saudi Arabia to catch up with my friends after Hajj. And I ate there and I never ever knew that some years later I'll be sitting down with the person that came up with the idea of Kiza and starting it in Dubai. So what's the story behind Kiza? I mean, I want to live in that city as well. When I met you at first, I told you most the cities of living, I want to live there as well. So what inspired you to set up Kiza? How did you get that location? And what was the story behind Kiza?
Kiza is a 2-hour story, but I'll summarize.
Okay, summary. Summary.
It was just an opportunity that we were a growing community at that time. If you really understand the Kiza concept is not a Nigerian concept, Kiza is an African concept.
Oh yeah.
Because we're a growing community. The African community was really growing in Dubai at that time.
Oh, yeah, it's massive.
And we had no form of representation or any nice place that we could actually go. And Dubai was all about nice. So you know about that. So I just said, why not? This is an opportunity to bring something still that we're used to, but delivered in this level. The challenge was there's nothing to copy. There's nothing to emulate. So I'm like, what? Why not? But still, the idea still makes sense, right? So it's well done. Follow all the right business processes and practices. It can work. And that's it. For me, it was more like that. I don't think it was a business done out of passion. I won't lie to you. It's not the business done out of passion. For me, Kiza wasn't done out of passion. Kiza was just an opportunity that I saw as a gap to be able to do something because there was a lot going on there. Because before we opened Kiza, we opened Kiza in 2012. I moved to Dubai in 2008. So it's not like I went to Dubai to open Kiza. There was a lot of stuff going on, and I was anywhere I am actively involved with the community. Not, from a mentorship perspective and whatever, I do whatever I can do, right? And it came at a time whereby, we're a growing community, like I said, but then we're still a very stereotyped community because we have the good, the bad, and the ugly of our community. That's the African community out there, and we couldn't differentiate who was who, and they were kind of sometimes. We're having a bit of some incidences that were not so nice,
It's actually still happening till date.
So but I know we did a lot, at least what we did was we started, one of the things Kiza was all about was, especially for our women, a lot of us were living there, our wives were there, our daughters were there, and they're Black women, and we just want them to at least, if you are tired of all this, all these places, at least you can be able to go to places where you always be. You always be treated like a princess.
Yeah.
You know, and if upskill, you can bring whoever, even I mean,
It's very
presidents and everything, you know. So we made it to that level whereby even when any president of because even when our president will come, African president, they're always doing stuff in Africa in Dubai.
yes.
Okay. When they will come, our own president will still be hosting other African president in Indian restaurant. Kenyan president will be doing the same thing. You know, all these other presidents, there's no proper place. At least we were able to give them that
space.
Yeah, that space, that environment, and that's it. So that was one of the key opportunities I saw. So there were so many things involved, you know, at least. And also we have young people, young creatives coming up in the markets. There were no opportunities to showcase them. You know, come on, man. We are the ones running this. And so I created that platform whereby, you know, you're an artist, you draw, you can come in there, just tell us the free time, we give you the space, do your event, you know. Kiza really meant community center, you understand? Yeah. That's what we're trying to create, but on the upscale. You understand? So we'll still give you everything you want to do. And the most important thing is give you that platform, that upscale platform, that even, you know, when you're ready, because even sometimes we have a lot of creatives that are ready for the mainstream, but they don't have access to the mainstream. So we wanted to be that access to the mainstream.
Yeah. I saw a lot of Nigerian popular artists. I think Banky W came to perform there, Falls, and quite a number of popular Nigerian artists. So but when you moved to Dubai, you're already a Canadian, right?
Yes, when I went to Dubai, I was a Canadian.
Yeah. Okay. So what were some of the toughest challenges of running a restaurant of that scale in Dubai?
Oh, it's I mean, it's like every other business, you know. Once you do the right thing, apart from cultural challenges, you will have cultural challenges, you will have government challenges. If you take those out, it's like running any other business. I don't think it's whether you're a minority or you're a majority. It doesn't really matter. If you don't run the business right, you're going to get the wrong results. If you run the business right, even because we had a lot of like those other challenges, but because we've done the right things, you will wither them because you are doing the right things, you know. So it's like when his eyes is on you, right, it brings two things to you. It brings attention. Everybody wants to understand what you are about. Everybody wants to come and taste what you are about. And it also brings scrutiny. You understand? So when you're doing business the proper way, scrutiny won't matter. So you'll be able to focus on those attention in business and you can actually capitalize on it. And that's what we're doing. We're doing business in the proper way, you know. So when scrutiny comes, when scrutiny see who we are, rather than now being stressed, they're becoming partners. That's one of the reasons why we became partners with the Dubai government. You understand? You know, so it's all about, and it's the same process. Once you do the right process, it's all about doing the right process. Anywhere you are in the world, any kind of business you're trying to do, doesn't matter whether you're white. I mean, why are the Chinese people coming in there into the country, into our continent, and they're making all this money? And they're hiring us because they have come in with systems. They just bring in systems because we have no systems. We don't even believe in systems, right? We just come, the man wants to build a house. These are going to go do proper planning, get a draft architect to do, no. Just come, call bricklayer, we are 2 floor here, 5 room now, the bricklayer is an expert already. So you can say that, okay, how many rooms? This one will take, and you start building your design. Well, that's how 50% of the old people think, you know? So that's it. Yeah, we had a lot of challenges, not to mention it's a lot of challenges, but we're running right business, right processes, and you know, we wither the storm. And we're still doing it right now, you know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So my next question will be, what will your advice to your 25-year-old self be?
Advice to my 25-year-old self is just don't limit yourself, you know. Take opportunity, you know, as you see them. Follow your intuition. Intuition is very key. So I came to learn it, you know. I used it well. And get guardianship early.
Yeah.
Guardianship later, but if I had known what I knew with the guardian, I've gotten guardianship when I was like 18. It would have been serious, you know. Yeah, so guardianship is very, very important.
It saves you all those mistakes.
Saves you all those mistakes. It encourages you, motivates you, it pushes you. It does many things. Not even just savings alone. It actually does so many more things apart from just saving. Yeah, saving is one angle. But about also motivating you. How about helping you to see your vision beyond your nose?
Yeah.
You understand? So those are all the other things that I believe a guardian would have helped. Some of those things that we were capitalizing in our head at that time. And like if I had to redo the Kiza concept again, what I know now, I won't do it the way I did it. Like another thing, you understand? So a guide would have told me what I know now then. You understand? So I was getting guardianship early is a very good one. I'll have told my 25-year-old.
So what we advise before, so there are lots of African, even people want to set up businesses, whether African or not, but especially Africans who have a passport limitations, because one of the reasons why I moved there was because that the passport definitely limits the ability to move to Dubai and say you want to start a 5-star restaurant. So what would be advice for community entrepreneurs who have that limitations and are trying to, they have those dreams, but they are being restricted by certain things that is beyond their control?
Well, I don't know what you say limitations. I don't think because I had a Canadian passport gave me any edge over a man that had, and my partner was a Nigerian passport holder. I didn't give me any edge over him. It was what you wanted to achieve that would determine what you achieve, right? Somebody with a Nigerian passport as a resident, the only right you have as a Canadian passport holder over a resident here is the right to vote. Every other thing is the same. Well, if you have to go to some places, you have to get visa. Well, that's fine. That's immigration. You go deal with it. That's part of living.
That can be restrictive because what I realized that for the visa applications,
nothing is restrictive. It's in the mind.
No. Your dreams are not restrictive. But for example, I wanted to apply for one of these countries to travel this year. They said I have to be working. I have to bring a letter from work, which is not a problem because I work, right? But if I had a Canadian passport now, I wouldn't have to work to go to that country. So that's what I mean by that. Some natural restrictions.
There's no restriction. If you want to go to that country, they say if you are to apply for their visa, right?
Yes.
So they want to ensure that you are stable where you are living. That's what they're saying, right?
And so but that's a form of restriction because if you have a Canadian passport or a Western passport, they don't need to ensure that you come back.
You don't need a visa.
You don't, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if you're unemployed and you're Nigerian or Kenyan, you cannot have those dreams.
It's not a restriction. It's your reality. When it's the way you.
Fair enough. It's how you view it. Yeah.
The reality. I operated without. I can tell you for free. Before I became a Canadian, I was traveling. My God, what are you talking about? You just plan better.
Factor it in. So you just factor it in.
The reality. There's nothing you can do about it now. It's a reality, But the reality. How many people are international travelers and Nigerian passport holders? A lot of them.
Yeah, fair enough. Some Nigerians. Yeah, even to most of the traveling I did was actually my Nigerian passport, anyways. So
it's a reality. I find a lot of us also give ourselves limitations. Our own fear. We translate our own fear also into some of our reality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's big time. There's a passport problem. I have to get visa. Why you think this? Okay, fine. You have to get visa. Go get your visa and go.
Get it. Fair enough.
I want to speak to them because most of these immigration officers they're psychologists, right? So they will know when you are stressed or you're not, I'm going to your country to do this. I'm going to get back and just give me my visa and let me go. It's going to give you your visa and you're going to go.
Fair enough. Okay, so tell me about the craziest experience you've had in your travels in each of the countries you've been.
Craziest experience? Oh.
That's the one that stands out.
I have too many. Let me see. Which one? How crazy you want it? How crazy you want it? Which one did I say? I don't know. One scary, crazy, or fun crazy. There's so many crazy experiences.
Okay, scary, crazy. Let's start with scary, crazy.
Scary, crazy. I would think the Mogadishu one was the most scary one, but But no, I think it's the Lagos one that was even more scary during the bomb explosion in Ikeja that time.
Cantonment.
Yeah, that cantonment. I think to me that was one of the most scary ones because in Mogadishu it was like there was peace and we were doing stuff. So when the thing erupted, they already had a process.
Sorry, Mogadishu is Niger State, right?
No, Mogadishu is in Somalia.
Somalia. Sorry. Yeah.
So during they had a ceasefire at that time. So yeah, I was there doing some telecoms business, and then it just burst. So we had to go into their protected area anyways for like 10 days before we could now get to the airport. But there was problem between on the way to the airport, there was problem again. Problem just erupted, yeah. But that one wasn't, you see, it was a bit scary thinking about it, but you're not that bothered because there's a process to deal with it.
And it's not directly on you.
No, exactly. And you know where it is, it is where it is happening. It's not too close to you. You just can't, I just couldn't go to the airport because it was on the the whole problem was on the way to the airport. It can come your way, that. So that's the fear, but it's not coming your way. And even if it came your way, there is a way to deal with it. You understand? But that one in cantonment, I'm here in Lekki. I think I was visiting with one of my friends, just the third day in Nigeria at that time. And that thing just started. Nobody knew what was happening.
Wow.
That to me was scary, man.
Oh, yeah.
But we knew
I
what was
remember when
happening.
it happened.
Oh my God, that was the scariest shit for me. But we didn't know what to do. There was no information. There is nothing. You were blind. You didn't know whether the war was coming. But no. That shit was scary, man. For me, that was, I find, scary travel. That's about it. Every other thing could have been under control, but that to me was
that's life-threatening. So that one would definitely stand out. All right. So you do this Instagram business. You've just started this Instagram business series of late where I see you invite different business mentors. So can you tell me about it and what's the overall aim?
Oh, mind your business. That's what it's called. It's just something I do. I have all kinds of programs intimately I do all the time. This is just something I created this month of my birthday month, and bring 12 speakers, just share different views, and it's going to lead up towards a webinar. Excuse me. It all came up from all these old scale up exercises that we've been trying to do, because that's what everybody's been trying to do since this whole pandemic thing came up. So I've paid a lot of attention, drill down into it, and been able to come up with a program based on how I have been able to do this in all my businesses, right? So the program is called Scale Up Hack. It's a masterclass that is coming up sometime in October, I think October the 16th. And so these are all pre-scale up activity, just to give you an idea of the synopsis of the kind of content you're going to be getting, and also to market the masterclass.
Okay, that's amazing. So I mean, you've had a very adventurous life, and that's one thing I like to have as well, like stories from Mogadishu to bombings in Lagos State to opening up a 5-star restaurant in Dubai to living in British Hong Kong to living in and having a family and settling in Canada and all that. So what's next for you? What's the next amazing story for you?
Next amazing story. Well, for me right now, I'm paying a lot of attention upon my daughter. Kiza Music and Entertainment is something I've been paying attention to since 2013. Now that my daughter has taken it up, I've been paying more attention to that.
She wants to go into music?
No, she is into music. She's a Juno Award winner already.
Oh, okay, amazing. I mean, it's a very lucrative music now. Is they're cashing in dollars and traveling around the world and doing what they love to do. So
that's going to take a bit of my time. About maybe 35% of my time is going to be dedicated towards that. Another 35% of my time, 20% of my time is going to be focused heavily on my coaching business, which is my business coaching business. And the rest is just, living life, living life. Just take it easy, work 12, 15 hours a week. Yeah, that's what's next for me. It's just taking it easy, helping young entrepreneurs, helping young people get from their point A to point B. I'm going to intensify more of my mentorship programs. More master classes are going to come in, masterminds are going to be coming. So I'm paying more attention more into self-development and just pretty much helping the people coming behind me to see and to be able to do things fast. I mean, I'm not coming to talk to you from what I learned in class. I'm coming to
experience
in class and what I've actually practicalized. And I just feel, yeah, I'm semi-retired right now. That's part of what I want to do. I give back by empowering these people with this knowledge, especially people that have that business abilities and business affinity. That's it. I want to guide them. I want to mentor them. I want to coach them. I want to help them build successful
business.
7, 8, 9-star, 8-figure businesses. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So that's the end of my questions. Thank you very much for taking our time. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure people have learned a lot from your story as well. So they can always follow you on your Instagram. That's where you normally put up your Instagram business series. It's on Instagram Live.
It's every Tuesday up until the 14th of October. If you follow on my Instagram handle at Lukman Akanbi _. That's Lukman LUKMAN AKANBI _. And then we have this IG series coming every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. That'll be 2 p.m. There's one coming up. You don't want to miss that one.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. West African time. And then we're going to be talking about abundance, how to decode abundance in your business.
Your business. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'll be joining that, just listening in and seeing how that goes.
Nuggets, and then we still have and the next week we have some super women. They're engaging some 2 super women. One talking about client acquisitions and sales, and the other one talking about how to make money, invisible money.
I need to be on that one ASAP. I need to be on that ASAP.
We'll now cap that one with the one with Landry Shola. So there's a lot coming up. Next. We're just at episode 4 now. There's up to episode 12. So guys, tune in, don't miss it. Lots of nuggets, lots of freebie. And the webinars also, you want to be part of the webinar. I think the next webinar is coming up on the 7th or 8th. It's all on my Instagram. You want to make sure you're part of that webinar, helping you, showing you, why, when, where, how. That you're struggling business, you think you've seen out of it. We're going to show you how to see the other income. The other money, other revenue that you're not seeing, how to actually scale up your business, because a lot of people don't understand how to be, scaling up of your business is very easy. It's a process. You just don't know how to know, have to know how to follow the process.
Makes sense. That's good. So thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you. All right, guys. So I'm going to be meeting different people, like I said, and getting to know a lot about them. I can also follow me on my Instagram as well, Nikki Chen TV. You get to see the different interviews and videos, and whatever I come up with, you get to see it.